3, 2, 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the classic 1v1 matchup. We are in the tiebreaker, game 3 of our best of 3 full random series between Michael Pick in the green here as the Lithuanians and Goobernugget as usual in the pink here as the Ethiopians. Pretty main civ for this player.
Yeah, I'm sure Goob's happy about getting this civ pick. Goob extremely good with archers, and of course Ethiopians have some of the strongest archers in the game. But could almost say the same for green. He doesn't use Lithuanians very often, but they are a strong cavalry civ, so I think it'll still play well into his typical game plans.
Playing on a unique map here used in custom tournaments. This is Outcrop, where there's a little bit of gold on the top platform. A classic, wood, food, Arabia style up top, outside of the gold. And there's a little bit of gold, just 4 tiles up top. And you have to go down to the valley on either side to get any more gold or any more stone. So pretty unique map here. We're going to see some interesting plays, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do like this map a lot. Similar feel to Golden Pit, except obviously you have pits on either side, so you could be in a situation where both players go for the same same side and start to branch out and meet each other, or be able to boom on either side. Looks like Goob will start some annoyance pressure from his scout. See if green can save the Vil.
He's able to trap that villager against that tree line.
Wow.
Gets the Vil kill.
So early lead for Goob. Smart play.
A lead, or just evening it back out. Again, almost already at a minute of idle TC time. 4 minutes into the game for Goob. We're seeing pretty lackadaisical villager production, but at least he's getting back on top of it. And the eco lead is, that eco kill is put in the back at 11-11 eco count here. So something really interesting about the Lithuanians, they're what's the name of their unique unit? The Lightus?
Lightus, yeah.
The Lightus get a bonus. Is it a damage bonus per relic?
It's, yeah, +1 attack per relic owned by the Lithuanian player. I think the max is 4. Certainly if green gets 4 relics, he'll be more than happy.
Yeah, so we can expect a monastery, quicker than usual, a monastery at all from green here. If Goob has his wits about him, I think hopefully, he would think to put a monastery down, try to get a few of these relics out, because that bonus is going to be pretty brutal if green is able to get his hands on those relics. I mean, that's a 4. That is a 4 attack bonus to an already castle unit from a player who rushes to Castle Age, who usually beats Goob to Castle Age and to a castle. So, he uses this strategy pretty often. He used it last game and didn't work out so well for him. But I'm interested to see what green does here. If he switches it up, thinks, well, I lost the castle push last time, I'm going to try something else here. Or if he's thinking, you know what, maybe I lost last game, but I can do better here, and the incentive to get to Castle Age with that relic buff, I imagine, is pretty strong for the green player.
Yeah, I think you're right, and as he does flick up to feudal, yeah, you get the feeling that he is moving towards a quick Castle Age. He's still really heavy on food, after going up to feudal. Still only, he'll actually now have 4 on wood, but be interested to see how the one less wood villager will affect his build order here.
Oh, excuse me. Pretty unique here from Green. No mining camp. Okay, well, I was gonna talk about how that Vill was on gold, but it's now a lumberjack clearing out this bush. So maybe not much of a point to that. But yeah, 2 Vills
Might
on
have been
wood.
misclick.
Oh, sorry, 2 Vills on this wood line, but he does have 5 now with 3 more clearing out the wood next to the TC, but still pretty heavy on food. So I think you're onto something there with Green.
Yeah, so both players going up to feudal at a similar time. Goob, couple villagers behind at this point. Nothing really to worry about, I would say, from Goob, though. He knows he's the better economy builder of the 2. I'm sure he'll be able to make that up pretty quickly.
Confirming suspicions as usual here. Green dropping a market as soon as he hits feudal age. I can only guess that we can expect a blacksmith as soon as he hits 150 wood here, and so we're gonna see a quick castle age from Green. He is at the resource requirement, but he doesn't have that blacksmith, and there it comes. So he's bound to be a little frustrated with that, a little bit behind on his castle age time.
Yeah, I think that was directly impacted by the scout getting that villager from Goobernugget. It's pretty amazing how little things like that, little changes at the beginning of the game can make such a big difference throughout the rest of it.
Pink's scout going to chase Green's here, even though it's like a couple hits weaker. So an interesting choice there. Looks like Pink is trying to get to castle age pretty quick too. He's got the blacksmith being built. He's got the market already out, and he's floating 600 food and 400 gold. Green finished his blacksmith, floating 1,000 gold. Sorry, 1,000 food, 200 gold. Still has not clicked up to castle age. As he moves the expected villagers south, undoubtedly looking for a stone deposit. Yep, gonna look for some castle here. Sorry, some stone here, as he does click up to castle age, as does Goob.
Wow, yeah, we're gonna have really similar castle times. Really interested to see if both or any of these players will use their civilization strengths. Like we said earlier, of course, Goob could go with archers. Don't see anything from him yet to indicate that, but certainly would be strong. And then Green on the other side, you would think would want to go and try to get knights or Lightus and maybe some relics as well.
You gotta wonder, why not go scouts again from Goob? It worked so well last time, and he was able to combat even the cav units with the help of a couple archers from Green. As we see a palisade gate come down, quick walling, trapping the scout, and the villagers are able to take that scout out.
Pro move from Goobernugget to get that done. That's, I mean, that really does more than it might seem, because all of a sudden, while Green had the only vision in the game with the remaining scout, that's gone. So maybe he was scouting that area to find a good spot to castle drop. Like you mentioned before, he's done that 2 times in a row in our first 2 games of this series. Now with no vision, could be a lot more dangerous if he decides to go that route.
Yeah, a pretty clutch pick there from Goobernugget. Very, very even scores so far from both players. Even Vill count. I mean, this is even resource collected, almost identical resources collected here from these players. So practically identical games, varying only in a couple ways, one of which is Green's heavy emphasis on getting a stone count up, getting the castle resources necessary, whereas Goob, not in a rush to get a castle up, looks like. He does come in with wheelbarrow and double bit axe. Green does have horse collar here. Those are the only eco upgrades we can see on the field. Goob has a
Yeah.
couple pikes, and in come the villagers from Green, as he does have over 650 stone.
So Green's gonna move forward. It looks like he is gonna try to drop a castle, and he's running straight into the town center from Goob.
Oh my gosh.
So what is the response here?
Really only one answer.
Right.
Clearly, Goob is investing resources here. May as well just go ahead and put the castle down. Goob's not going to see it until his town center's up, and it's going to be too late at that point. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, so really unfortunate for both players. First for Goob, gonna get that town center up, and then it'll immediately be under fire from Green's castle when it goes up. And then also on the other side for Green, he's trying to get all the way to Goob's base and is forced to drop the castle half, 2/3 of the way to Goob's base.
Yeah, a little bit of an advantage. Like you said, it's unfortunate for both players, not just Goob. You know, it's not just a downside for him as he's getting castle dropped, but he's not getting castle dropped in his base. His main eco is completely safe here, and so he is still queuing up villagers for this stone. But you know, I'd like to see some reactionary moves here at the main base as Wheelbarrow does come in for Green, mindful of that eco upgrade early.
Yeah, doing a lot better.
And there's the monastery from Green. You know, at this point, we typically see a couple of stables, maybe a siege workshop. So the light is coming out, a 13 damage cav unit.
Wow. And some villagers behind him. One Lightus, even just one, is going to be able to do a lot of damage. And he'll start attacking the villager woodline for Goober.
Looks like he two shots Vills here. So he's going to take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Vills down before they're able to take that Lightus down and the Spearmen get up. So this hurts huge. That's now a 10 Vill lead from Green with, again, no pressure in his home base.
Right.
And this town center's under fire. A scrappy effort here from Pink. 4 pikes and 1 battering ram wanting to get in and deal with this castle, but
Yeah, and meanwhile you have towers going up in the back of Goobernugget's base. Green left those villagers up there. Those will go up at the same time the ram from Goobernugget is going to come down and try to attack this castle. The only defense Green has at the moment is his villagers, and he's going to try to use them.
Pink has garrisoned pikemen that could jump out and deal with these vills, but he's not ungarrisoning them.
Yeah,
Unfortunate play here from Pink.
Yeah, I gotta think he was preoccupied with the towers. So now you have battles on both sides here. Goobernugget is doing a good job of defending the tower rush. We'll see a tower go down to the ram. And the ram will continue to work on the barracks.
I'd like to see Goob move this ram to the watchtower, as without murder holes he would be able to take it out, but there's other ways to take care of that. Just gonna repair the ram. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And if Green's not there, he won't even be able to focus his tower fire on the villagers.
Right.
And Green sneakily is still moving those villagers out. I don't think Goobernugget saw that. Goob is
I'm
starting
looking at the fog of war. Pink has no idea those villagers went east.
Wow. So Goob starting to transition to the archers, looks like. So now you have Pike, which counter the best Lithuanian units, and then you have your incredible Ethiopian archers starting to build a good composition here.
He does have pikemen, but only a few, and at that, only a few archers. Not even crossbowmen at this point. So, Goob really in need of some military upgrades for one, some blacksmith upgrades, and here comes scale mail. So he's trying to protect these pikemen. Looks like from any attack there, and as he does garrison into another battering ram. But
While all of this is going on, Green's slowly getting those relics. Every relic that gets into that monastery buffs the attack
yep,
of the Litus. Looks like he's got 2 now already.
Litus is sitting at 13 plus 2 attack damage, so that is 15 against units with practically no armor. You know, Goob did get scale mail, but I mean, 2 rams and 3 pikes against 4 of these Litus, 5 of these Litus, with 15 attack damage. Now about to be 16 with this relic coming in. That's pretty dangerous. Crossbowman
Yeah,
upgrade
absolutely.
coming in for pink, but he needs a little bit of more aggression here.
Yeah, Goober starting to build up his defense. Meanwhile, looks like Green was able to build 2 stables and a siege workshop in the back of Goober's base without him knowing. You also have a random villager way off in the northeast, just carrying logs. Let's see if he'll have a plan for him. Yeah, it looks like he'll just drop a lumber camp and move forward. As the attack comes in for Goobernugget, Litus extremely strong, as we mentioned, but definitely still want to avoid those pikemen. But Goober able to clean up, and we'll get the Rams to the town center for Green.
Green, very, very smart play here, though, has been just garrisoning the created Litus in his castle. Does have 3, now 4, okay, now 5, sitting in the castle, and it doesn't even need to send them out. 1 Litus able to take care of those rams, even the pikemen under the fire of the castle and the town center, just not enough to be able to take the Litus down and bring down the town center, much less the castle. As we see 2 more stables come in for Green. So Green has 4 forward stables here, a siege workshop, a monastery with now 4 relics in it, giving these units 17 attack damage. More Litus coming out, a pretty significant Vil lead. Goob's got to come up with some pretty magical play here to get a little foothold. He needs something. He needs something to be able to punch back with.
Yeah, and Goob in a place now where even just 1 Litus coming in is a problem for any of his villagers. He will get the conversion though and be able to convert 1 of those Litus, so now has 1 of his own.
1 is nice, but you know, you gotta wonder against 5 more and knights on the way. 1 Litus, a few crossbowmen, a couple spearmen. It seems like it's not quite enough to deal with this push from Green, who is just biding his time, playing the smart way. I think he's giving himself time to get the rest of these relics. That is now 5 relics, and like you said, they don't benefit from any more than 4.
Right.
For the damage buff, but still, he has the gold income from the relics. He has 4 damage, 4 bonus damage on his Litus. He has the knights with the extra armor to deal with the pikes. Again, 2 pikes, even 3, even 4. Probably not enough to deal with a couple knights with armor upgrades.
And what's an appropriate response from Goob? He's sending a an attack, a raid back in Michael Pick's base. So all of a sudden, Green scrambling to defend. His wood line is completely chopped down. His economy is wide open, and the crossbowman from Goob will just annihilate these villagers.
Sloppy play losing that lightest there from Goob. You know, he couldn't have known that there were two TCs, I suppose, but this is crucial. This is exactly what he needs to be able to retaliate. And Green, getting a little ticked off, no doubt, decides to send his units in. This is 5 knights, 5 lightest. The monk's
Yeah,
gonna
with
get
a few
one a
scorpions
conversion.
also coming from the back of the base.
Right. Yeah, the sneaky siege workshop. One more in it, and another
And
on the way.
with all of this, just the distraction, Goob loses all of the archers in the base of Green because he left them under the town center. So now your counter is falling apart, and you're under attack again at home. What is left now for Goob? As he drops, looks like he's got 15 villagers left. Things looking
Trying
bad
to
for
put a
Goob.
watchtower down. Just not looking good right now.
It looks
Yeah,
like
this
Michael
is...
Pick is searching, searching around the map. Did find a town center north of Goobernugget's base.
And not quite enough villagers in that town center to defend. But not quite enough units to drop it yet, so Green's forces are going to move a little north of that wisely, as he's just going to go ahead and circulate his units around the edge of Goob's base, cleaning up the rest of these vills. I don't know what left he's got here. This is a 12 to 42 vill count, and if it's not, that's not bad enough. You know, no military for Pink, hardly. And Green's sitting here floating 2,000 gold. So if he wants scorpions, if he wants archers, if he wants more lightus, he can do that at the drop of a hat. Whereas Goob just doesn't have any resources at this point. Scrappily, he's going to try to take out these scorpions, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, definitely a bad spot for Goob. I think one of the advantages right now that he has is Green seems to be looking for more from Goob. I don't think he understands how many villagers Goob is left with at this point. He's scouring the map, just trying to find more.
Yeah, and you know you can't blame him. This Pink is a this player is one that is known to rat a little bit. He's known to, as soon as he gets under pressure that he doesn't know he can contest easily, he's gonna relocate and set up a secondary base. And I imagine from Green's perspective, that's gone poorly for him. One or two too many times for him to take any chances here. He wants to find any remnants, make sure that Pink is out of this game completely.
Yeah, it looks like he's even employing some of the herdable animals on the map. There's Green all over the map at this point, looking for more of Goobernugget's base. Of course, he knows about the town center in the north. We'll try to take out some of these villagers before they can get back in the town center.
Yeah, a pretty play there. Vills go down. 7 vills left for Goobernugget, and as expected, he calls the GG there. Pretty dominant game from Green.
Yeah, it really came down to that first interaction between him and Goobernugget down in the south. He really had that castle. It looked like he had planned to actually get a castle into Goobernugget's base, was forced to leave it near Goobernugget's new town center, but wound up working really well because having those lightus and being able to send just a few in and allowing them to raid as much as possible really worked out for him.
Green really on top of his game here. He picked up those early eco leads to give him a little bit more backbone, and his reactions were pretty much perfect. I think he made all the right calls. A conservative castle, put it next to the second TC, just cripple. Just cripple from the outside. It doesn't have to be in the base for you to do damage. Gives you time to build up defenses out here because it's not too overextended. It gives him time to pick up 4 relics for this Lightus, making them, turning them into just death machines this early in the game against Goob. And I think Goob made the right play with the archers here. That hurt a lot, I'm sure, but again, the reaction from Green. Okay, archers in my base. Move forward with what I have into his base. 15 cav, some Lightus, some knights, some scorpions, and like a monk. And now Goob has to focus on that, taking his attention away from the crossbowmen in Green's base, which allows the town centers to just wipe the rest of them up, taking the pressure off of Green's economy. I think those reactions were really, really well done. Overall, really well done from Green.
Yeah, it looks like he took what he learned in the first 2 games and applied that to this championship game of this series. Did a lot better in technologies, as you mentioned. Um, did much better than before in keeping up with his economy as well as applying pressure. Great game between both of these players and a phenomenal series. We've come to expect this from games
Right.
between these two
Yep.
players.
As usual, coming to a game 3. Excited for the next one.
So am I.